Oh, hey there. It is Monday. Are you feeling tired this Monday? Yes? No? I hope you are ready to go because we've got something cool to talk about today in social studies. What are we doing? We will identify the difference in communication then and now. Look at this big long word with the letter C. Read it with me, please. Communication. Whoa! One more time. Communication. What is communication? Here's a little clue. What is my Bitmoji doing up here? She's trying to talk on the phone. On a really old kind of phone. Talking on the phone is communication. Look at this old phone I've got. Wow! This is a way to communicate from the past, from then. Now, in the present, I communicate on this kind of phone. But look at how it has changed from then to now. Today we're going to study how, why, and what has changed about communication. How will we study it today? We will read facts on Pebble Go to illustrate ways to communicate in the past and the present today. Remember those two words? Say them with me, please. Past and present. You have a present for me? No. Remember, present means today. Today, we communicate with iPhones. In the past, a long time ago, they had all kinds of different looking technology for communication. Have you seen any of these before? We'll see lots of cool ways to communicate today on Pebble Go. Why are we studying this, my friends? We will be able to understand how technology has affected the way we live and communicate. Long time ago, look at my Bitmoji, using a can and a string. We don't communicate that way anymore. We have changed. Technology has changed. We're going to study today what has changed and how our lives have changed. Are you ready to see some more cool communication methods? Get your stethoscopes on. Pebble Go. Here we come.
Pebble Go.
Woohoo! Communication, then and now. Here we go, our first page. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages and a video. Get your eyeballs ready to watch. We're looking for different ways to communicate. When we're done, we'll be drawing one from the past and one from the present, including labels. Here we go.
In the 13 colonies, people communicated with letters. Ships carried letters from the colonies to Great Britain. It could take 2 months for mail to arrive by ship. Later on, newspapers and pamphlets became popular.
Wowza! We're way in the past. Back we didn't have 50 states. We only had those 13 colonies. People were communicating with letters. Writing a letter and mailing it. But it took the ships 2 months to get the letter to the right person. So right now it's February. If you write a letter today, put it in the envelope, stamp it, and mail it off, your friend might not get it until March, April. 2 months. That's like 60 days. Long time to get your message to your friend by mail. Later on, newspapers. Look at this photo. All the newspapers they're reading. And pamphlets. What are pamphlets?
Pamphlet. A small booklet.
So a little bitty book. A newspaper might be larger, or a pamphlet would be a smaller book. Early newspapers told of events in the colonies. Do we still use newspapers today in the present? Yes or no? Yes, we do. Do we still write letters today in the present? Yes or no? We wrote them to Santa Claus, but they don't take 2 months anymore. We're a lot faster with our mail, but we still do write letters, and we still do use newspapers. Let's move to our next page.
Communication on the frontier.
We're on to the frontier. What's the frontier?
Frontier. An undeveloped area where few people live. Frontier areas lie between settled territory and wilderness.
Okay, so there's few people, lots of wilderness, lots of animals and plants. So now we're going over to the frontier. Let's see how they communicate there.
On the frontier, people sent letters and read newspapers.
Same.
The Pony Express made communication faster. Riders carried mail between Missouri and California in several days. Later on, people sent news within minutes by telegraph.
So we still have letters and newspapers, but now the Pony Express is coming, and it's faster. Here we have a photo. The first Pony Express rider leaving in 1860. So look at this man. He's riding a pony or a horse, and he's leaving to make a fast communication. So you have to tell your message to this man on the horse, or write a letter and give it to the man on the horse, and he's, giddy up, cowboy, going to take it and deliver it for you to your friend or your family. It could take him just several days to go from Missouri to California. So he's riding his horse for a long time to get your letter to the right person for you. This was faster than the old boats they were using back here in the colonies. The horse can go fast, so he's getting it faster to the person you're sending the message to. Later, they began using telegraphs. What are telegraphs?
Telegraph. A machine that uses electrical signals to send messages over long distances.
So this is a machine. Before the phone was invented, a telegraph machine could send signals of messages over long distances. Now this is kind of like a text message, but it's going to be a larger machine, not quite a telephone yet. But this is even faster than the horse. Our next page will show us they're starting to invent the phone.
Communication in the 1900s.
Let's hear about it.
The invention of the telephone in 1876 made communication easier. By 1915, telephone wires connected the country. Radios became popular in the 1920s. People got news right away.
Take a look at this photo. Early telephone in 1913. So this was how the telephone looked 100 years ago. It's very different from today. It has these wires or cables you have to connect. So she's holding one piece here and one piece here. Now, I just have one thing to hold, but she has to have one to listen and one to speak. And there's a cord connecting them. It is faster than the telegraph machine. They can call someone and get their message quicker. And they're starting to use radios. Have you ever listened to the radio? Yes or no? You have one in the car, yes. Radios, instead of the newspaper, can tell the message across the radio faster than it took people to write the newspaper, print the newspaper, and deliver it. So now we're getting faster with more technology. Telephones are invented and radios are popular. 2 more pages. How will
communication in the 1950s.
How will it change now? What do you see in the photo?
By the 1950s, most homes had telephones and radios. The invention of TV changed the way people got news and information. They could now see news as it happened. Big computers came into use.
So before they were listening on the radio, to hear the news, or they were reading a long story. Now they're watching the TV. Do you have a TV in your house? Yes or no? And they can tell you the news as soon as it is happening. You don't have to wait for someone to write it down, print it out, deliver it to your house. It's already in the TV on the box. Turn it on and hear the news for the day. And they can see it instead of just hearing it. Now they're starting to get big computers. By big computer, we mean not something skinny you can hold in your hand. This is a big computer you had to have on a desk or on a table. But these are just starting to become new technology in the 1950s. Almost all houses have phones and radios. Think of your house today. Do you have a phone? Yes or no? Do you have a radio? Yes or no? Let's go one more page.
Communication today.
The present, today. Take a look at this photo. Do you have one of these today? Let's listen.
Today, people communicate with each other in seconds. People talk and send messages on cell phones. They write emails and use social media sites. They talk to people around the world through computers.
Look at this little boy. Maybe he's messaging his grandma who lives in Mexico. We can talk across our planet to other countries, other people, quickly in seconds. We can type a text message. We can send an email. We can call on the phone and use social media. What's that?
Social media. Websites and other online forms of communication used to share information.
Oh, so like Facebook or Instagram, that's a website where you share your information and communicate with other people. We also use those today to talk to friends or keep up with your grandma. All of these are things that you can have on your tablet, on this skinny little form of technology. It is fast, it is easy, and it can talk to people.
Go.
It can communicate with people far away from you. Let's see the video. All right, the caption says, operators connect people making a phone call with those they are trying to reach. So these ladies, they look all ladies, are working at a call center. They all have on a headphone with a microphone piece, and they are pushing buttons and connecting wires. Let's see them in action.
Like the operators who handle telephone calls in my town. Here in the central office, you can feel the pulse of the community. The flashing lights on the switchboard reflect the activity of the town.
Thank you.
It begins to stir in the early hours of the morning.
Your name and number?
It reaches its peak in the rush hours of daytime.
That's Pennsylvania Place, please. Thank you.
And then settles back for the night. It's the job of the traffic department to handle this changing volume of calls. It has to be ready with enough equipment and enough operators, 24 hours a day, to meet the customer's demands for service. From the earliest days of her training, every operator learns to think of her job in terms of service to the community.
This is information. May I help you?
Yes, I'd like the new number of Wilson's Meat Market, 1191 Sycamore Street, please.
One moment, please. The number is Right 56240.
Right 56240. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Operator.
In addition to supplying information, operators put through all kinds of calls, many of them to out-of-town points near and far.
What is the name of the person?
And for each call they handle, they record the facts needed to accurately bill the customer. The calling number, the place called, and length of the conversation are all noted for use by the accounting department.
Very interesting. Please get your journal, crayons, pencil, and meet me on video too.